Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, I'm glad you found this series. We explore the right of disposition, the legal right to control what happens to your body after death, and how to make sure your wishes are honored clearly and without conflict. This episode focuses on Missouri, where the law gives you the power to decide who handles your final arrangements, but only if you take that power in writing. In Missouri, you can decide who will make decisions about your remains by signing a right of sepulture document. Under Missouri Revised Statute 194.119, you can name an agent called your designated representative to handle your funeral, burial, cremation, or other final arrangements. Once that document is signed and witnessed, your chosen person has full authority to act. That means your spouse, children, or parents cannot override your decision. This form is simple, powerful, and recognized by funeral directors across the state. If you do not leave a signed document, Missouri law has a default order of who gets to make the decisions. First, the person you appointed in the right of sepulture form. Second, your surviving spouse. Third, your surviving adult children, a majority if there's more than one. Next, your surviving parents. After that come your surviving adult siblings, followed by grandparents, adult grandchildren, and other next of kin under Missouri's succession laws. If no one steps forward, or if there's disagreement, a court may appoint someone or authorize the county to handle arrangements. That hierarchy is defined by Missouri Revised Statute 194.119 and guides funeral homes when no written directive exists. In Missouri, a body can be held indefinitely. Under Missouri Revised Statute 193.145, a death certificate must be completed within 5 days of death, and burial or cremation must take place shortly after the certificate is issued. If no one claims the body or makes arrangements within 10 days, it can be declared unclaimed, and the county coroner or local authorities can proceed with disposition. 10 days is not long, especially if family members are out of state or in disagreement, which is why written instructions are so important. If you are estranged or no contact with your family, Missouri law will still follow the same order of priority unless you've documented otherwise. That means a relative you don't communicate with could legally decide your funeral plans. The best way to avoid this is to complete a right of sepulture form now. Appoint someone you trust, whether it's a friend, partner, or professional, and make sure they have a copy. Now, Missouri law doesn't directly address chosen names or gender identity in its right of disposition statutes. If you go by a chosen name or have a gender identity different from what appears on your legal documents, make sure your written designation clearly lists your preferred name, pronouns, and any details about how you wish to be remembered. Provide that document to your agent and to your funeral home so your true identity is respected and represented correctly. Before we close, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when it comes to final arrangements in Missouri. First, assuming your spouse automatically knows your wishes. Without a written designation, confusion and conflict can still arise, especially in blended families. Second, waiting until later. The right of sepulture form can be completed anytime after age 18, but many people put it off until it's too late. Third, forgetting to give copies. A signed form that no one can find has no power. Make sure your designated agent, family, and even your funeral home have it on file. Avoiding these mistakes helps your loved ones carry out your wishes easily and prevents unnecessary legal battles. As always, I want to thank you for watching. I hope this helped you understand how Missouri handles the right of disposition and why it's so important to name your representative before someone else has to decide for you. If this information helped, share it with your family, friends, or anyone living in Missouri who needs to know how these laws work. Conversations like this bring peace long before it's needed. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more state-by-state episodes in this series. And check out the rest of my Right of Disposition playlist to see how laws differ across the country. I'm Bella, but this is your life, your legacy, and your choice, even after you're gone.